to the March edition of Madness. No, it's the Coffee with Tyler. So did everybody watch basketball this weekend?
Oh my God, yes.
Marquette. Oh. All right, a couple of, exactly. Wisconsin?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was quick. But we got Marquette. And,
Friday night, 6:10.
Friday night, 6:10. Anna even let me join the bandwagon. So, 'cause I'm a Badger guy, but I'm a Golden Eagle from here on out. So, it's nice how that works out. So, all right. For those of you that are first-time watchers or viewers of Coffee with Tyler, you grab a cup of coffee if you'd like some. Happy to grab you some. Otherwise, the piece of paper is blank. This is your time to ask questions, share thoughts, share concerns. We do have State of the Castle on Thursday this week, so I won't take all of that up. But again, this is really your time to ask any questions you might have, and I try to answer, and I also do have some updates for you. As I know Evan just put out the April calendars. So again, I'll do my best to answer any questions, and if there are questions I don't have answers to, I will make them up, or I will get the right answer and get back to you. So, and that's what I will do. So who has the first question or comment? What's going to start us off? Yes.
Okay, last week there was a presentation walking the neighborhood at Culver.
Yeah.
And which I really wanted to go to, but I wasn't feeling well. So I thought, I'll turn on TV 955. But none of those presentations are on there. Why?
So, good question, good point. And I need to circle back with Evan and Scott, because I think it's more from a programming consistency piece. Is just we should either live stream or maybe we notate on the calendar live stream or not live stream. But again, I think that we just haven't done a good job in making sure that we're consistent in that. So again, I can talk with Evan and Scott, no fault of their own, of course, but just something that I think probably is an oversight. On
I
our
just never
part.
paid attention to that part of the calendar that there is.
The channel 955.
Yeah. Because I always just come down.
Yep.
But that day I just, I thought, I'll watch.
Yeah.
If you're able to walk 1.5 miles, that's a historic Milwaukee tour. I believe it's every Sunday in
Okay.
warm weather. One of the more popular ones costs you $10, or if you're a historic Milwaukee member, which is like $30, it's free.
Okay.
It's one of the more popular tours.
So live in person, but more so from a live streaming overall. Channel 955 is a channel that you can watch, and also there's recordings and things that can play throughout the time. So sorry about that.
Somebody told me you could find those on YouTube. Is that?
Yes.
You
So
can?
there's a YouTube link. East Castle Place has a YouTube page. That's where you're gonna see my lovely face. Just kidding, it's not lovely. But there's the State of the Castles and different events that are going to be
So
on
would
there.
the speakers be on the YouTube?
So I don't believe we actually live streamed Paul, which is the issue. We have to have a recording device to put it up on YouTube. So
So if
I'll
I'm on YouTube with my sailing thing, I get residuals, right?
yes,
Good to know. Checking it out.
just the same amount you were paid for your presentation.
Oh, never mind.
free residual all year long. So, but no, I'll check and make sure the presentation wasn't recorded, and then if it is, I'll send you the link. Scale, did you have-
No, it was the same question
Oh.
as Lynn had, yeah.
looking for some
Can we
residual
find-
on your.
Can we find the
Oh.
programs that are recorded
Yeah.
on YouTube?
Yes, you can. Yes.
On another note, Dick and I are in Lake Terrace, and I don't know if anybody else has the issue. We have a persistent fine dust problem. It gets on the furniture. We have talked to Eric about it. It's been going on since we moved in. And it's on the face of the dishwasher, it's just this fine,
It's like a talcum powder.
it's like a talcum powder.
It sticks to everything,
Yeah,
even vertical surfaces.
So the question is for Lake Terrace residents, because I haven't heard it anywhere else other than Lake Terrace. It seems like there's a fine talcum powder substance almost.
right.
And has Eric been able to get back to you on what?
Well, they came and they tightened up the exhaust or the lint thing on the dryer, thinking that might be the culprit.
Mm-hmm.
It is not, but
Okay.
it's on tables, and I do a lot more sneezing, I spend the morning sniveling,
Okay.
and as I have an allergy to dust, and so,
Okay.
yeah.
So I do know that we, hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll be replacing all the filters again in Lake Terrace, because we actually have to, Butters Fetting is coming back to do an installation of a filter sleeve. So working through that, I don't necessarily think that's the primary cause, but we want to take out every indicator.
Right. And
You
I
you don't run a humidifier in your apartment, a personal
do.
one?
We do.
Okay.
I'll go over that.
Right,
Because the humidity is now a whopping 30%.
right. So I don't know if there's residual from that potentially, but
I think it might be the ventilation. I mean, I
Okay.
don't know how much residue was left in the ventilation system after, I don't know if it was cleaned after all the construction.
it was. I mean, again, we taken pictures of ventilations and it's clean. I mean, again, comparatively, so.
Yeah.
But I'll circle back with Eric and then I'll have him follow up directly with you. Is everybody in Lake Terrace experiencing that? I know I have a number of Lake Terrace residents. You are?
No.
You are?
I find a sort of a dust, but I always thought it was coming through the balcony door.
Oh,
When
okay.
I would open that up, that
Okay.
it would get on it.
Like the pollen's almost from the air?
No, not dusty dust.
Okay. Well, I'll have Eric circle back and see what other solutions we can have for you. So,
Right.
what else?
We could have a little more humidity in Lake Terrace.
Working through that. Yeah, we're working through that. Yeah, Butters Fetting, Angie and Brendan are getting us a quote on a commercial humidifier that we would do for all the common areas, and the idea is that common areas that would lead into your apartment. Not sure of the solution, so. Celeste?
What's the possibility of getting a convex mirror down in the workout room? So when you're the first one working out, you can see who's behind you.
So the question is, a concave mirror, a mirror.
Convex.
Convex, sorry.
Right.
Convex
I had that
mirror.
clarified before I came.
Yeah, convex mirror in the workout room, so you can see who's working out
Yeah,
behind you.
you've got the TV there, and it's never on.
Right.
And it would just be nice because people say hi, and you're like, hi, whoever you are.
Yeah. Okay. All right. See what you do.
What about getting away, I thought I read something about getting away from styrofoam for the, like if you pick up stuff in the,
Yep.
pick up your room for
Yep.
lunch or,
So, these I just so happen to have. Somebody provided them to me right before the meeting. These are going to be going out on every one of your carryouts, starting I believe today or next week. And the reusable containers that Celeste is pulling out for us will begin on Monday, April 22nd as part of our green initiative. So we are trying to limit styrofoam, and I know that this is not a great example, but you've noticed that by the coffee, where you pick up your coffee, we've switched cups there
Yes.
to a more recyclable cup. And then obviously, this is where the Green Committee's efforts are going, and you will see all your carry-out materials going out April 22nd, or beginning April 22nd. And so the education will be provided beginning today through the month of March, through April 22nd. I think the Green Committee is putting together some presentations. There will be signs going up in the trash rooms. There will be placement of where these bins can be returned. And again, we ask that you just rinse them out. Even if you put them through your own dishwasher, it still has to go through our dishwasher. So it doesn't make sense for you to wash them. At the same time, we would like them to be rinsed out. And then these containers will be returned to where you get your coffee. There's a pull-out area, and there will be pictures of where that area is. If they're not posted yet already, they will be this week. So much more information to come on that as we begin to limit our usage of styrofoam across the campus. But it is a partnership, and the partnership is between East Castle Place and you, the residents, because again, we are relying upon you to rinse out and return as you're coming down for your morning breakfast or anything of that nature. And again, we look forward to embarking on this green initiative and appreciate the Green Committee's efforts.
Do they have numbers on them, like a 6 or a 1 or what?
They're reusable, not recyclable.
Correct. So
I just, some people might not know there.
So the question was, are there numbers on there? And there probably aren't because they are reusable. They're reusable up to 1,000 washes. Now, if a container makes it through 1,000 washes, we are going to celebrate that container and put it on display
At the museum.
Because it'll be incredible if they make it through 1,000. That's 3 years in one container. I can't make it 3 days with one pen. So, but these here are not recyclable. They are reusable. So our teams are getting trained and prepared that if we see them in the trash room, we are hoping to not have to dig them out, but to not throw these away. Again, these are reusable, not recyclable, so we're really eliminating that green, green footprint of ours.
These are where it's going on.
And there you see from Celeste that those will be going up in the trash room. So it says, do not rinse, do return to the bin in Gilman, and do repeat. So that's all forthcoming. So again, these are the reusable containers that you will get to see your meals come in on a nightly basis beginning April 22nd.
Excuse me, and the committee is gonna educate the caregivers who come in and all, okay.
Correct. So Teresa has the information for the private duty caregivers and is forwarding that out, as well as we are training our staff and our housekeeping staff, as well as they're cleaning apartments and things of that nature. Now, how many of you were here last time we tried doing this? Didn't go so well. We lost over 95% of the containers within the first 3 to 6 months. I will own that because, again, I don't think we did a good enough job educating the whole process. And also, I don't think we did a good enough job engaging because we tried it during COVID. And these types of meetings just weren't a possibility. So I'm very excited this time for the Green Committee's obviously efforts, Vijarka and her team's efforts, as well as Eric and his team's efforts to get this program really going the way I think we all want it to, and that is a established reuse and repurpose these containers.
These are microwave, going to microwave, it says
Yes.
reheat.
So these containers for the soup ones are going to be a little tougher. Now our staff probably won't have the strength of Celeste, hopefully, as she tightened this one. But they will be on there tight. Again, it's that double-edged sword of the soup containers and liquids, trying to keep them contained within a container and not over a paper bag, so that you don't have soup and you have a wet paper bag. So again, if that is an issue, either two things. We may have to change out the soup container to something that works a little bit easier, but this is what we're starting with, or we'll try to have staff be a little bit,
There's actually a deeper one
More
somewhere over
shed
there,
yard.
but they,
Yeah.
and that's a soup container.
which one is this just a regular like salad
Yeah,
container?
I think so.
So,
It's,
There's already disappeared.
See, we've lost one already.
I don't know how we're gonna make it to 1,000 watts, we can't make it, you know, no, I'm just kidding.
Didn't make it around the table.
Oh,
Never mind.
yes, girl?
Food you have to be put in a microwave and reheated?
Yes, they are microwave safe. The question was, can these be put in the microwave? And yes, they can be put in the microwave because they are going to go through our commercial dishwasher, which also heats up to a very high temperature. So these are safe. The BAPs, within these are safe. So again, very common containers that we receive. So again, we're not the pilot of a container either. So this how.
Would it be best to wash it with a little soap and water instead of just rinsing it? Because sometimes foods, gravies, things might stick. And, you know, it would attract
Yeah.
insects to the.
And that's, so the question is, and you make a good point, Joanne, is she asked, do you still want us to use, is it a good idea to use maybe some Dawn liquid soap or some soap and water? Of course, you're welcome to do that, because again, the rinse is really the idea is to get the debris out. Now, again, because we have one kind of central area that we're training the staff to go to, I'm not as concerned as when we did it previously where we left them outside the doors and waited for staff. Because again, this is really for you to come down to that central location to return them to. And our staff will be picking them up and then going through the commercial dishwasher. So again, the idea is it's not more than 24 hours. Now, if it stays in your apartment for 72 hours and we haven't rinsed it out, and then it's brought down, different situation. Again, if there's debris that's not out, we're going to have to deal with that. But the idea is to bring it down to a central location that's easier for our staff to make sure we can do our part, but also, again, from an education standpoint, from an engagement standpoint, having the residents do your part. Same thing with the private duty caregivers. They're getting trained and educated, so for those that have a difficult time getting down to the dining room, they're able to work with their caregivers. So, but yes, feel free to use soap and water. Again, just know before you do have the second use or second life of this container, it will go through a proper commercial dishwasher process, so you're not getting somebody's leftovers from 4 nights ago, which I think is always appreciated. Yes?
one question, it won't be a problem if you want to take something back and keep it in the freezer for a few days in a container?
So the question is, in this container, if you want to take it back and keep it in your freezer for a few days, again, if we all do that, we're going to run out because we do have a certain amount. I think that some of you have been bringing down your own containers to maybe the dining room to put leftover. You are still able to do that when you dine in. And so I guess if that is the case where you want to take something back home and keep it in the freezer, maybe I'd encourage you to bring your own container to have staff, put in. Again, these are just for the to-go orders that staff are dishing up and putting together in the kitchen. So,
To go, if we have them delivered?
yes.
Oh, okay.
So,
But if somebody had leftovers, you'd use one of those.
correct, exactly. Yes, Troy.
On the same topic of the good life at East Castle, I noticed that the little juice glasses are gone from the rack in the bar. Is that a portent of some good news, like maybe some good-sized cocktail glasses coming?
I will have to follow up with you. I do not know that our little juice classes
What's more important than that?
you caught me off guard. I wasn't at the bar this morning. So I'll check in with Nate.
Nate doesn't know.
Okay, then
It's apparently a secret.
It's a big secret, one that I will find out about. So
Thank you.
you're welcome.
We need tall glasses in the bar.
Yeah. So yes.
You mentioned the glasses, but they're not glasses, I don't know what they are, but those cups that are by the coffee now,
Mhm.
and you said, no, I don't think anybody knows those are reused. Oh, sorry.
So the compostable ones,
Are the dark colored?
Yes.
They're brown,
Yeah,
and the rubbish is filled.
right.
People are not using them again.
They're not supposed to use them.
They're compostable, they're
They're
not
not
reusable.
reusable.
What do you mean?
They're better than styrofoam because they go into recycling, but they're not reusable.
Right.
Well, I thought if they're on them, they weren't.
So just if everybody remembers, I think last year the Green Committee sponsored the East Castle Place plastic the plastic cups that there's one sitting on top to show, I think. That's the, yeah.
Store.
Yeah, so,
I read it wrong then.
so the compostable ones that
You
are,
rinse them out and use them.
you can, but that's not the intent. The intent is to not have to use these and throw them away and they don't break down, so. So the question was about the new coffee cups that we have by the coffee cups. So,
That'll be a big help.
yeah.
In terms of the new green stuff, if you wanna use it to get it to your apartment and freeze it, transfer it to your own container once you get it in your apartment.
That would be a solution as well, so.
And then you can return the green ones.
Yeah, so the solution that was offered is if you do take something back and you want to freeze it or keep it in the refrigerator for an extended period of time, dump it out of this container into your Cool Whip old container or whatever container you have personally, rinse this out, return it, and keep the cycle going.
Can I change topics now?
Yes.
You're gonna be getting, I think, some comments for State of the Castle, so I'm gonna give you a little warning. This has to do with swimming. We all love the pool.
Mhm.
The surface that was installed around the pool is very slippery. And I know they've gotten a couple of rubber mats.
Mhm.
And I understand that surface met state standards. I'm thinking the guy who set those standards was sitting in an office in a suit and has never walked on a pool edge because it is really slick. So I don't know what can be done to it at this point, but at some point, and I hate to say this, somebody is going to take a header. It really is slick tile. Even coming out to get to the locker room, that whole area, as soon as it's wet, it is too slick.
So, so the question or comment that was raised was about the pool surface. And the question, how many of you are swimming? So everybody knows what we're kind of speaking to, the slippery surface. And Willie and Alicia mentioned it
Oh, yeah, I
as
know
well.
they-
And
I know.
that's why we started with the 2 mats. Have those mats helped?
Sure, but they gotta be moved so Milicia doesn't fall while she's doing her exercises and she puts it back by the door. If that's what you're gonna use, they need to be all the way around, practically. And then I don't know how, if they get moldy. I mean, I have no idea. I'm
Right.
just saying that surface,
Okay. And I guess,
It is dangerous.
and the question I have, and I guess this is where I need to circle back with Alicia and Willie more. Are you yourselves not going through the stairs and getting out of the pool via different ways?
no, up the stairs and to that little
Okay.
bit of area to the locker room. I walk flat like a really old lady.
So if we
flat-footed.
extended that and had the rubber mats from basically the door to the locker room to the stairs, would that be one solve?
For that area, getting out to the locker room, it's still slick. I mean, I just think whoever put that in there,
And what I'll do is, and I actually have a call back to Jordan Albrecht, he's our project manager. Again, I went out and Brookfield Central, I believe is where I went, that they had the surface installed. And we can go back to the manufacturer and make sure it met to specifications, because obviously there was both state and
Oh, I'm
city
sure.
sign off, and
I'm sure,
that's where,
but-
again, we need to address this. And I'm not saying that, I just want to make sure.
or maybe you say anybody who's using the pool, you've got to get those you have
Yeah.
to get the shoes.
Yeah, water.
I don't wear them, but
Right.
maybe that's what you say, well, if you're gonna be down here, you gotta wear those. Because that surface is slippery.
Okay.
From the steps in the pool to the hot tub is also really
Yep.
slick.
Anytime you're out of the pool, walking anywhere on that surface.
Okay. All right, noted. And again, we will try to have answers. And again, thank you for the heads up on State of the Castle. I'm sure we will address it. So, yes.
Just you know, mats are a nuisance, you know, they gotta be moved, they gotta be cleaned, everything like that. But I think like on stairs or stuff, those non-skid strips
Yeah.
that, you know, and I don't know with water how long they would adhere to the surface, but
Might work.
it might
So,
do something.
The whole ladies' shower room is an accident waiting to
Yeah,
happen.
same thing. It's the same
Extractor spitting water all over on the slippery floor. Only one shower has a bench inside the shower. And there are only 2 showers there and 2 places to sit on a bench for 10 women. It's just waiting, and it's been reported several times. I'm not the first.
okay. Thank you.
It
Yes.
can be a little slick in the shower floors in the Lake Terrace building. I usually hang on to the handle of the door when I get out of the shower, because sometimes as I'm walking out, the foot that I am pushing myself out with will slip backwards.
Okay.
Can't you put a sand
I'll-
like you do in garages?
Sort of epoxy. Yeah.
What was sand at?
So I'll check on the pool locker room situation, so that I'm prepared for Thursday, to see what we could do to respond, and in the meantime, see what solutions we can come up with. Again, obviously, anytime the surface gets wet, you're going to have potential, and I'm not saying that, again, there's not fixes to be had, and I want to do what's right, and again, I thought we had the right benches and things of that nature put in, so I apologize for that oversight. Again, I appreciate the caution that everybody's taking, and please continue that, as I know we want to continue to use the space and be as effective as possible. And I know I've spoken with Willie about, you know, how we're cleaning it and things of that nature, and I feel he's doing his part. So if we're doing everything we're supposed to, and it's a material issue, we may need to.
Because Tyler, the old pool, it wasn't a problem.
So Lynn mentioned, you know, the old pool. Well, we had the exact same surface planned to be installed, and the city and state denied it. So that's why we had to run, you know, and go through, okay, what
They
surfaces.
should have had to come over here barefoot and walk around on it.
So again, that was the disappointing piece, because again, that's what we had spec'd from the get-go, and pools feels, especially in Milwaukee, and so again, that's where I physically went out and talked to the superintendent that managed the pool. Again, a little bit different demographic, and I will own that. Again, high schoolers versus senior population, but he didn't have any concerns, and again, from a slipping standpoint. So,
What was the reason for banning it?
good question. The question is, what was the reason for banning it? I can see if I can go back in my notes and see if the city and state gave it, but I think it came down to the porous nature and the concern of mold potentially forming. And again, there was no mold. I want to make sure that's clear in our pool, former pool, but I think that could have been a reason, because it was a little bit more porous material with the grout. But outside of that, I don't know, and I could be speaking out of turn. So I can give you the contact for the state swim inspector if
We
somebody
could
wants to
all
get
call
in.
him and say, you got a real problem.
Yeah. So
See,
yes.
while we're down in the gym area, I have another question. When we go
Mm-hmm.
down at different times to use weights or to work out in groups, or even just by yourself, whatever, is there any chance of getting some type of little cubby holes or shelves or some kind of a surface? Because when you come down there, sometimes it's cold walking down, so you might have a jacket on or a sweatshirt, or you need some place to put your keys and your cell phone while you're working out. So far we've been putting it here, there, wherever, and it's sort of a mess. Is there any chance of doing that? I know I've talked with Willie about it, and he said they've been looking at different things,
but is that on the agenda at any place to?
Yes. So the question is about cubbies, essentially cubbies for lack of a better term, little storage areas, temporary storage areas without locks on them for when you come down to work out. So we had them almost installed last week. Then we found that, or Willie felt they were too small of cubbies. So Eric went back and ordered another cubby rack with larger cubbies that can hold sweatshirts and things of that nature. So I think we're planning to put 12 in, 12 cubbies, which I think should meet even the high time demand based on that and the lockers in the locker room. So yes, that is on the agenda. They almost were installed and then just weren't quite the right product type, and so that's where I know Eric's gone back. So
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.
for having that.
What other questions? Yes.
I want to thank you for having Teresa talk to us.
Oh,
We sometimes forget all the things she can do for us.
Yeah.
And we need to be reminded.
So the comment from Nancy was Teresa Jenkins did a presentation in the classroom, and I heard that we could have maybe even done it in Lindsay Hall. So I think next time we might do it in Lindsay Hall. I was joking with Teresa. I said we need to move you to Lindsay Hall, and she said, Tyler, nobody's going to come. And I said, I think you'll be mistaken. And then Evan did a nice job in advertising. So no, I think Teresa's presentation was very well received. I think sometimes it is one of those things that we don't realize how much somebody does for and is available to. So I think, out of that, I will share with you, if you haven't seen, we're doing a COVID vaccine clinic, April 2nd. And so again, I think that was a great thing that came out of that discussion and presentation. And Teresa is just truly that incredible resource. And again, having oversight of the front desk, as we all know, everything kind of runs through that front desk. So, and obviously the years of experience Teresa has. So really appreciate what Teresa was able to do. And I know Lindsay supported her as well. So again, we're doing those quarterly is what I kind of tasked Teresa with. And she'll bring up different topics. It won't be the same kind of introductory topic she had this time. There'll probably be reminders of, hey, wear your pendants and things of that nature. But it'll always be something a little bit different. So, we'll look forward to Teresa continuing that. And again, I think we may have to move her into Lindsay Hall. So.
Is that a booster shot on April 2nd? Is that
Yes.
a booster?
Yes, it's a booster COVID shot only. Do check with your physician if you're eligible, if they're recommending. To be honest, been doing our best to keep up with everything and haven't done a great job because it seems like it changes depending on what source you go to. And also do bring your insurance cards because your insurance will be billed for that. So check with your physician and then check with your insurance company and make sure, or don't check with your insurance company. All insurance companies will cover it, but we do need that information. North Shore Pharmacy is the one that's doing the clinic. So.
Are these in addition to the shots we got in the fall?
Yes.
Yep. In addition.
So I believe for those, and don't quote me on the exact vernacular, but anybody over the age of 65, I think if you haven't gotten one in the last 60 or 90 days, you're considered not up to date. So, and I think the last clinic we had was October, which is obviously now we're heading into spring training and baseball, so it's past 90 days. So yes, great job, Teresa. What else?
Do we need to make an appointment for that shot?
No, there will be a sign up. So there will be a sign up with time slots. So sign up and we'll go from there.
Is that all day or is that?
I do not believe so. Let me. I just saw this. Scott. April 2nd from 9 to 1.
What was the sign up to that?
Soon. Soon. Because we just put it up today, so you can probably expect that in the next day or two.
Where would that be, the sign up?
Where every sign up is.
I know.
I believe, no, and I'm not,
Library.
I believe it's in the library, and I didn't mean for that to sound like it, I don't know where the sign up's gonna be, so we'll probably put it where the rest of the sign ups are.
Somebody was just saying at lunch that they were looking to have an update on COVID, and that so many pharmacies are getting limited
Doses.
doses of it. So it would be nice to get it all at once.
Yeah. Okay. What else?
You looking for more problems?
No, I mean, I'm kind of going off Nancy's vibe of what we did, so. And just a couple notes again, State of the Castle, will be on Thursday, right here, 1 o'clock. If you have any questions, please get them submitted. I know Maureen's got an initial list of questions. The next Coffee with Tyler is April 8th, and then I will be out of country beginning April 11th, and I'll be gone for 2 weeks. So we are venturing to South Korea. Yeah.
Venturing, yeah.
15 hours on a flight, straight,
With 2 little kids.
with a 1 and a 3-year-old.
Oh, good luck. Good luck.
My wife will be there too. If you didn't know, my wife is half Korean, and so her mother-in-law, or my mother-in-law, is in Korea right now with family for the next 3 months. My wife hasn't been back in 7 years, so we were gonna go, and then this whole COVID thing happened to happen, so kind of shut things down, and then we had our 1 and 3-year-old. So now's the time, I guess. So I'll be out of the country, kind of unavailable, April 11th till April 25th. So I'll be gone for an extended period of time, but the rest of the team is here, so I have no worries.
This is a suggestion from a grandparent
Yes?
to a young father,
Yes?
and I'm not teasing. You go to Walgreens or somewhere, you buy a whole bag full of those foam earplugs,
Mhm.
and you make friends with everybody around you. As you get on, you hand them out, and they will smile, and then they will put up with a lot.
Yeah.
It's not that expensive, and
Good
it's
to know.
not
I thought you were
a
gonna
bad idea.
say, get a big bag of Benadryl.
No, well, that too, but no, you get those foam, and they make
Yeah.
people smile, and then they.
All right, good to know. But, no, and again, I'll probably mention that in a memo leading up to it. But Lindsay's going to be here, and obviously you have a great group of team directors too, and obviously staff that are doing the work. So, with that, if there's no other questions, I'll stick around for a little bit. But thank you, everybody. Go Marquette. Brewers start next week, Tuesday, opening day, April 2nd, or Thursday, for all of you.
Right, it competes with you, so I don't even.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. All right, enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone. Thank you.